Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, March 8th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple quick clarifications. Number one, the price you see there will be changing, and the candlestick you see right there will be moving and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time, but I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, TRKA, has been a monster and had the big gap up here. However, from a presentation standpoint where I sit, a very tricky chart to talk about because there's a lot of perspective that goes into it. What do I mean? Well, let's say you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you bought right there, maybe you bought right there, and your plan was to buy and sell within 20 minutes after buying. Well, then from that angle, yeah, the chart looks really, really bad. However, if you care about the big picture point of view, I understand. Huge pullback today. No doubt about it. But let's take a look at things. And let's say that the price actually pulls back even more. Not saying it will, but just for example's sake, let's say the price comes down here to the 40-cent mark. But let me squeeze things down to offer up a bit more perspective here. So price comes down to 40 cents, bounces around, and then starts to head back up. Now, from the big picture point of view, where are the lows at? Well, you have a low here, then you have a low there, and a low there, and a low there, and a low down here. And if you envision these as stair-steps, what do you have? Again, emphasis on big picture. Well, from the big picture, you still do have stair-steps making progress in the upwards direction. And that assumes that, like I said, the price drops down to 40 cents. So my point here is this, that yes, I understand that if you're a day trader and you bought right there, you don't care about these stair-steps. But that's why I'm trying to differentiate between a bigger picture person and somebody that was more so some sort kind of day trader. So yeah, today in and of itself, think about that word today, as in one day, really, really bad day. But looking at multiple days as we're doing here, you can see that the stair steps do have the opportunity to continue to get higher and higher. So we'll have to see how this continues to play out. Next one, WW, huge move today. And then this afternoon, the volume came pouring back in. So got to think that a lot of eyeballs are watching this one as it's been a very solid mover. So let's get some levels mapped out here. First key level in my mind to watch here moving into Wednesday, right up there at $7. And then along with that, you have basically a little miniature area of support right here. So let me change that to green to represent more so the support and bullish dynamic of the pattern. And then to make this maybe easier to see, let's keep it one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big upwards move right here. Let's put the golf ball down here to make it that much more visual for you golfers out there. And this would be known as a bull pennant pattern. So while nothing is guaranteed, my point here is that is it plausible? Is it valid to think that the price can come up here to the top part of the pattern and get the break up through it, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? Yeah, that is certainly a plausible outcome that could very well play out. Again, doesn't mean it's guaranteed, but nobody could accuse you of just doing something randomly because there is some logic behind that pattern right here. So if you like bull pennant patterns, if you like stocks down below $10, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one, TDUP. Big mover here and with a pullback. And the nice thing about this pullback is it's at least alleviated the worry of buying the top, right? Suffering from FOMO, fear of missing out, right? Have you been there before where you watch and then you buy and then the price drops? Well, the people that suffer from FOMO, they've already suffered the consequences. They were buying there, and now they're thinking, uh-oh. Now, just because the price is pulled back does not mean that for sure guaranteed that, it's going to work out. But at least, like I said, you don't have to worry about being the sucker that buys the top. So yes, as of this afternoon, there is this downwards channel that has formed. But assuming you care about a bigger picture point of view, that would lead you to need to ask the next question. Okay, yeah, I do care about the bigger picture. So what was happening before this downwards channel? And the answer to that is, well, this huge explosion right there, which has now allowed me to draw a bull flag pattern. So yeah, if you're a day trader and you suffer from FOMO, and you bought right there, then yeah, things could be feeling really bad for you. But assuming you care about the bigger picture point of view and looking at what was going on before the downwards channel, what you see here is an overall bull flag pattern. So if you like this price range and you like bull flags, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one, MULN, and not a whole lot to say other than all of it was just a dead cat bounce. So, I mean, there's no doubt about it from where it was cruising here to this big upwards move right here. That is now, not only has the price gone back to where it started, because think about it, it was in this range right here. So it came back down to this range here, but it's actually even dropped further down below that range. So price made a great move up and then came right back down. So overall, back to the drawing board for this one as everything has been wiped away and then some. And that doesn't mean that another nice move can't start all over again. But as far as the nice move that had been occurring, that just has turned out to officially be what is known as a dead cat bounce. So as far as moving forward, new area of support, nothing fancy here, just a question of where did the bleeding finally stop. That's down there at 20.5 cents. So 20.5 cents, that newest area of support. If the price does try to bounce back up, new key level to watch now going to be that former area of support right there, 50-period moving average valued right there around the 22-cent mark. But like I said, I just want to get this one up because still pretty popular out there. Still a lot of people talking about it. But as far as just summarizing it all, yeah, everything just has turned out to be that dead cat bounce. Next one here, AMC, and talked about this pattern in yesterday's video, and unfortunately, the bears pushed down through that trend line. Price came down here, but what's now super interesting, this will mean a bit more to those of you that watched yesterday's video, but I talked about that pink line, 200-period moving average, and wouldn't you know it, the price is literally sitting right at that level, which now brings about the big question, what's going to happen with that moving average? And you know that there's shorts watching it, there's bears thinking, okay, I think I'm getting ready to short or buy puts because they're thinking that the price is going to head down. But on the same token, there's going to be people saying, well, I think the price is going to bounce off that level. It is a key moving average. I think it's headed back up. I understand both people's logic and rationale, but that always goes to show why risk management is important, because somebody's going to be right, somebody's going to be wrong. But the common denominator there is that everybody is now going to be watching that pink line there very, very closely. So keep an eye on that. I'll get rid of these lines as they serve their purpose. If there is a bounce, then the first key level of resistance will be that purple line there. 50-period moving average right now valued at 629. If the price falls below that moving average and breaks to the downside, the next key area of support down below that moving average is going to be down there right around, let's see, what is that? The $5.90 mark. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, all eyes on that 200-period moving average. We'll see if the price can hold above it or not. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency to manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free training. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage to click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free live training. Next one here, NVOS. Probably should have put this one at a different location to stop or in the watch list because we've already talked about this pattern. So I'll just draw it in here real quick. But we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So we have our resistance. We have our support. So again, let me change that to green. And the big dynamic here would just be maybe those other price, those other ones you weren't too interested in because they weren't penny stocks and you only trade penny stocks. Well, here you go. You have a penny stock, resistance, support, big move up. Golfle down there. So again, I'm not going to sit here and repeat everything all over again because I've said the same things in the past. Only difference here is really the price range. So if you like bull pennants, you like penny stocks, definitely keep an eye on it. Get it on your watch list. Next one, UNCY. And like the other ones we've talked about in terms of perspective, that's what we have here. Day trader, flipper, scalper, buying there, buying right there. Yeah, things aren't looking so good for you. But if you care about the bigger picture point of view, you can see that even with the pullback today, the price still has not tested that green line, which I talked about in past videos. So from a bigger picture point of view, it still very clearly has plenty of opportunity to build a higher base. Now, if the price comes down to that green line and then just blast down through it, okay, at that time, it start to have a different conversation. But like I said, as of now, the price hasn't even gone down there and tested it. So, I mean, that shows that big picture-wise, everything is still fine. So yes, I get it. Day traders that bought right there, things are not looking so good for you as of right now. But as far as the big picture point of view is concerned, you still have that opportunity to build a higher base. So support-wise, that $13-ish mark going to be very important. As far as resistance levels are concerned, key level seems to be really up there around that $2 mark, which makes sense. Just the big old round number right there at $2. So if the price does try to, curl back upwards and head back to that area, then $2 is certainly going to be that main level of resistance and key breakout point. Next one here, TSLA Tesla. Traded this one today, and as always, I'm keeping a close eye on it. And with today's movement, definitely some new levels need to be mapped out here, and one just update. First key update, just based on the foundational rule and charting, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So as I've talked about in past videos, that was going to be a key level, and it played out and came into play quite a bit today. So if there is any sort of bounce, 192.50 are going to be that key level. And also you'll want to keep an eye on that 50-period moving average because you can see it continues to slope downwards, and even today, earlier on in the day, got right in that general ballpark before getting rejected back down. So keep an eye on those as far as resistances. And then as far as supports, you got to think that there's going to be a ton of people watching down here at 186. You can see now that twice from back here and then this morning. So for anybody that noticed that as a chart player, congratulations, you nailed the bottom and got a great bounce. But You got to think that all sorts of people are now going to be watching 186. You're going to have longs thinking it could bounce from there. You're going to have shorts thinking that if it breaks, it's going to pick up that much more momentum. Both people, I understand their perspective, but somebody's going to be right, somebody's going to be wrong. But that doesn't take away from the fact that 186, in my opinion at least, there's going to be a ton of people watching that level tomorrow. So grab some popcorn, grab some Sour Patch Kids, and let's see how the price behaves relative to it. Next one, RIVN, brutal day here. Not necessarily because of the red day. Yes, that plays a big role in it, but even from a technical point of view, price came down here to this former area of support, which you can see. Whoops, you can't see because it's behind my ugly mug. There you go. That you can previously here did a very good job of holding as support, but the price is now broken down below there. So as you've heard me say on a couple of these other ones, when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So moving forward now, if there is any sort of attempted bounce back in the upwards direction, $15.50 will be that key level. But as I speak right now, I mean, the bleeding just continues and it continues to ramp up. You can see just how the volume has been increasing. So increasing volume as the price bleeds and bleeds and bleeds. A whole lot of selling has shown up. So which brings about kind of the idea here that, as you can see here, I mean, the price may be at all-time lows. In fact, let me check that real quick. I think... yeah, the chart is actually at all-time lows right now. So as I speak, the chart, and since the stock's history, has never been down this low. So at this point, you kind of just got to use your gut instincts and use candlestick analysis to figure out when a potential, low may be starting to form, or in terms of a support level. But the moral of the story here is that if you like to play these things where stocks are at all-time lows and you like to try to catch and get a bounce back to the upside, definitely keep an eye on it, because big volume today, definitely getting beat down. But popular stocks that get beat down, they can produce some very nice dead cat bounces. So if that's kind of fits in your strategy, I'd certainly keep an eye on it. Next one, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ. So if you believe that the NASDAQ market as a whole is going to rise, this one will also rise. Difference here is that it allows you access at a lower price point. And not a good day here. Once again, not necessarily because it was red, but because the price is now broken down through several key areas of support. In fact, 3 of them. First one being that green line, which I talked about previously. Second one being that pink line there, 200 period moving average. Third one being that purple line there, the 50 period moving average. So again, no guarantees, but would anybody be shocked to see this continue on down now after breaking through so many key levels of support? I can only speak for myself clearly, but I don't think I would not be shocked by that. And like I said, I don't think other people would either. So as far as the next key level of support is concerned, that I'm very curious about, and you got to think other people are watching, is going to be down there at the $22 mark. If there is any sort of attempted bounce in the upwards direction, whole lot of resistance is now the price is going to have to fight through. It's going to have to fight through that purple line. You're going to have to fight through the pink line right there. So as far as resistance levels, let's just call it right up there at $23.25. Like I said, if there is any sort of attempted bounce. But as of right now, bigger pullback here. But to be fair, and maybe some would disagree, and I don't think I'd understand, but yeah, there's a downwards channel. But assuming you care about the bigger picture, what was happening before the downward channel? Well, there was this big old move up here. So if you want to take the view that this thing is still in a bull flag pattern, you're not wrong. Like I said, I just hesitate a little bit because of the nature of today breaking through so many levels of support. But who knows? Maybe this is just a healthy bull flag pattern. This thing's getting ready to turn itself back around. We'll see what happens. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to get signed up for the free live webinar. It'll be Thursday, March 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, please do 2 things for me. Helps out the channel and will encourage me to keep on doing these videos. Hit that like button and leave a comment below. Just tell me what you traded today. Tell me what you're watching tomorrow. Did I miss something? Let me know in the comment section. Like I said, those 2 things go a long way. So get signed up for that free webinar. Hit the like button, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.